do whales, dolphins, and humans have in common? And what does this commonality have to do with regulating our intense emotions? Well, stay tuned as I share what this commonality does and an exercise that you can use so you can help manage overwhelming feelings. Do you ever feel like you have so much going on in your life that it's hard to manage and cope with it all? Are you going through or have gone through traumatic and stressful events that make it hard for you to function in your day-to-day life? These are signs that you might be feeling overwhelmed. Now, everybody can feel overwhelmed from time to time. It's a normal response to have. Stress can be very normal. It can be very beneficial because it can help motivate us for change. But chronic stress and stress that lasts for too long can take a significant toll on ourselves. Now, a few things can happen when we're feeling overwhelmed. Cognitively or mentally, we can experience forgetfulness, confusion, challenges with problem solving in our day-to-day life, focus and concentration difficulties. This can lead us to having irrational thoughts about ourselves or others or the world around us. And it can lead to less flexibility in how we're able to think and take perspectives. Now, emotionally, when we're overwhelmed, we might feel really triggered and really agitated to very small and minor events. Let's say you stub your toe, and regularly, if you're not overwhelmed, you feel the pain, shrug it off, and you keep going. But if you're feeling overwhelmed and you stub your toe and you already have so much on your plate, that little minor irritants and pain might be the catalyst to us feeling way outside of what we're able to tolerate, and we might feel really angry, really overwhelmed, really irritated. And physically, what you might notice is that your heart's going to be going faster. You might have difficulties breathing with your breath being really shallow and really quick. You may feel dizzy or experience headaches, muscle cramps, and aches and sores in other places in your body. Now, if these symptoms persist for a long period of time, it can lead to even more complicated health issues such as anxiety, depression, medical conditions as well, such as high blood pressure, heart disease, and obesity. So this leads me back to our question of what do humans, dolphins, and whales have in common? Now, if you said that they're all mammals, you're right. That's not what we're talking about today, though. And if you said that humans and dolphins like to have a lot of sex, you're also right. But again, that's not what we're talking about today. The commonality that I'm talking about today is called the mammalian dive reflex. You might have also heard this as the dive reflex. So how does this dive reflex help with our emotions, and what does it have to do with our vagus nerve? The dive reflex is something that occurs within our body when you submerge yourself in cold water holding your breath, and a complex set of physiological changes will happen. These changes include bradycardia and peripheral vasoconstriction. Now, bradycardia is a slowing of our heart rate. This happens because our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest system, gets signals from our brain to pump the brakes on our heart rate and limit any unnecessary oxygen consumption. Now, peripheral vasoconstriction helps to redistribute blood to your vital organs such as your heart and your brain while limiting oxygen use by non-essential muscle groups. And this system is activated through our sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight and flight response. So when water hits our face, our nerve sends signals to our brain, which then trigger the vagus nerve to react and this dive reflex to kick in. Now, before you try this exercise that I'm going to describe, if you have a heart condition or a medical condition, a lower base heart rate due to medications, take a beta blocker, or are allergic to cold, or have an eating disorder, you need to consult with your doctor or your healthcare provider before trying this exercise. So how can you activate your dive reflex? Well, step 1, get a bowl of cold water. Fill it with cold water and ice, ideally below 21 degrees Celsius or 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Step 2, hold your breath and place your head into the bowl for 30 seconds. This will activate everything that I just mentioned: a slowed heart rate, reduced blood flow from non-essential muscle groups. Now, this is pretty intense and it might not always be immediately accessible when we're feeling overwhelmed. So there are some alternatives that you can try that stimulate a very similar response. One would be taking a couple of Ziploc bags, full of cold water and ice. Now, same thing, holding your breath. You want to focus on this area above your cheekbone, this soft spot below your eye. You can close your eyes, hold your breath, and place your eyes on them. Whew, it's cold. For about 20 to 30 seconds. Water's dripping everywhere, so I'm going to stop that for a moment. Whew. Even just a few seconds there, holding my breath and placing that on my eyes, I could really feel my body's physiological response start to shift. So holding it for 20 to 30 seconds can be really helpful. The second alternative is taking an ice pack. And you take that ice pack and you place it on the right side of your neck, holding it there again for 30 seconds. And you can hold your breath while you do this. Now, holding the ice pack also stimulates the vagus nerve. Research has shown that this has been helpful in modulating your heart rate, but right now the research is a little bit mixed around whether this activates the full true dive reflex to the effect of placing the cold water, the ice here, or submerging your head in the water. But this one can be a nice other quick alternative that you can try as well. So I hope this was helpful for you today, and that you have another tool that you can use using your body's natural reflex to regulate your emotions when we're feeling quite overwhelmed. Now, check out this video here if you want to see another vagus nerve exercise that you can use your body and its natural response to slow down how you're feeling. Thanks for your time today. Take care, and I hope you have a great day.